Moses Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin confirmed for January 24th in Manchester. Now, this happens on a card that is quite interesting. Everybody is talking about the main event, which is Moses Itauma facing Jermaine Franklin, and that is probably why you are on this video. So let's talk about it. Look, I am not mad at this at all. As you guys know, and if you follow this channel for a while, I've always been asking for Moses Itauma to step up, but step up in fights where he can learn something, right? In fights where we can get some of the questions that we've always asked. We can get some answers to those questions, right? For example, his chin, can he take a shot? Can he come back when he's behind a fight to win a fight? Can he adapt in fights? These are all questions that I think a lot of people, including myself, have about Moses Itauma that we want to know if he will be able to answer these questions. So I think Jermaine Franklin is a very good fighter for Moses Itauma to fight right now. I talked about the fact that he ducked the Frank Sanchez fight, which I thought could be a potential banana skin. And his team, Frank Warren and Moses Itauma's team, they know that they could not take that Sanchez fight because Sanchez is a dangerous, a very good fighter. So they knew what they were doing there, and that's why they didn't take that fight. And then the pull-up fight was a fight that was ordered, but for some reason that fight did not take place. And I wasn't keen on the Pulev fight because what is the point of Itauma fighting Pulev, who is like 44 right now? What does he learn, right? He comes back from fighting Dillian Whyte, who he obliterated in round 1, and then he fights Pulev, who he's going to obliterate in round 1 or even in round 2. So then what is it? What does he learn from that? So I was wanting Itauma to fight someone that he will be able to challenge him, right? Someone that can take him rounds, someone that can ask those questions that I mentioned earlier on in the video. So Jermaine Franklin is a very good opponent for Moses Itauma to fight right now. Now, I did a live with Enzo on EMGM Sports yesterday, and we talk a little bit more in detail about this fight and potentially what we could expect. And on the live, in the comment section, a lot of people had this say about this fight. And people were saying that, Itauma is going to blow out Jermaine Franklin in 2 rounds max, and this is going to be an easy fight. I am not so sure about that, guys, because Jermaine Franklin is no pushover, right? I think the difference between Jermaine Franklin and any other fighter that Itauma has fought is a number of things. And a few things that I can mention is that, number 1, these guys wanted a payday, so they came to lay down. And then number 2, these guys did not have any ambition in the sport to be able to go and do anything. I think Jermaine Franklin is a little bit different. And although I think this fight ends really badly, right? This fight ends badly. But I think Jermaine Franklin will come into this fight. He will be motivated and he will come to fight, because the times that we've seen him in the UK, he hasn't come and lay down. He's come to fight and he's come to prove something. So if we look at his record, right, Jermaine Franklin is currently 24-2-0. And those 2 losses came at the hands of Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. And both fights, Jermaine Franklin was competitive in both fights. Yes, with the Anthony Joshua fight, he got outboxed, but that was a Joshua that was coming off a loss, the Ruiz loss, and trying to find his feet and, being gun shy and didn't know what to do and whether he was boxing or he was punching. Joshua was a confused fighter when he fought Franklin. But that is to not take anything away from Franklin, because he was pretty good in that fight. He showed good chin. He took some really good shots there. He showed good boxing IQ. He showed that he can be competitive, against a fighter that has been on a world level, which is Anthony Joshua. And he was competitive in that fight and he put up a really good performance. And then before that, he fought Dillian Whyte, which again, Dillian Whyte is a very good operator. Dillian Whyte is, at that time, or even before that, was a, title contender, fighting some really good fighters, Dillian Whyte. So, and Dillian Whyte was tough. And Franklin was in there with Dillian Whyte and he was competitive. He gave Dillian Whyte some really tough moments in that fight. Dillian Whyte came through that, but Franklin gave a very good account of himself. So I don't think that Franklin is someone to look at and go, Itauma will blow out in a few rounds. Look, if Itauma gets in there and blows out Franklin in 2 or 1 round, then oh my goodness, what a fighter we have on our hands in the UK. but I don't expect that. I don't think that is going to happen. I think this fight is going to end badly, as I said before, but I don't think it happens early like a lot of people were talking about in a live that I did in the comment section. But look, I'm interested to know what you guys think. Get in the comment section and actually let me know, right, what you think about Itauma versus Franklin. Do you think it ends early? Do you think it goes late? Do you think it ends in the middle rounds? Do you think Itauma will come, through some tough moments to win this fight? Are we going to see Itauma's character in this fight? There's so many questions. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know your initial thoughts about this fight and how you think it will go. But look, talking about Franklin, I think he's got something to prove. Number one, I think he knows that this is a golden opportunity. Imagine, guys, Franklin goes in there, gives Itauma a tough night, right? All of a sudden, his name is in the lights. Franklin is young enough to know that he can get big fights if he, gives Itauma a tough fight. If he knocks Itauma down or if he gets Itauma into deep trouble and Itauma is all over the ring, all of a sudden, Jermaine Franklin gets all these big fights and his name is in the light. So he would know that there's a golden opportunity there. There's a key to big fights and big money, and he will not let that go. Franklin knows that. And he's young enough, he can take a punch. He's quick enough, he's got good boxing IQ, and he's got pride, and he'll come to fight. Now, Itauma, we don't know if he fights well on the back foot. What we know is Itauma is a full train, going forward, looking to wreck and looking to do damage. And we know that Franklin does not fight on the back foot. In his both fights against Joshua and Dillian Whyte, he didn't take a back foot step. He came forward and was willing to fight. So I think this fight is going to be two fighters coming together and fight. They're coming together. Nobody's going to take a back foot, in a backward step, and they're both going to meet in the middle of the ring, and they're going to have it out. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, of course, Itauma, I think, has the speed advantage with the hand speed and also the foot speed. I think Itauma has the advantage on there. But I think Franklin so far has shown that he's got the chin better than Itauma, because Itauma hasn't gotten hit. Franklin got hit by Dillian Whyte. He got hit by Anthony Joshua. So I think when it comes to the chin sort of aspect, Franklin has the advantage. But Itauma has power. Itauma is quick on his feet, got quick hands, got really good boxing brain. He's a southpaw. He's a nightmare, right? Itauma is a nightmare for anyone. But if Franklin can get in there and make it a tough night for Itauma, then it's going to be a really interesting fight. Look, I think this fight goes to the middle rounds. I think this fight stops somewhere in the middle rounds, and I think it stops badly for one of these fighters. I am going to make my final prediction as the fight gets on, and I'm going to tell you how and why I think this fight ends really badly for one of these fighters. But for now, get in the comment section. Let me know your initial thoughts about this. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited. I want to see how Itauma deals with someone like Jermaine Franklin. Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Bright. This is the Bright Show Podcast Boxing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.